Have you ever felt drained after spending time with certain people? Or maybe you felt super energized after spending time with other people? The answer is easy. Who you surround yourself with impacts your energy, mindset, and success. So today's video is to show you that you should surround yourself with people who have similar values or values you are aspiring towards in your life. So hello, my name is Magda and welcome to my channel. Let's ask ourselves why your social circle matters. You probably have heard many times that 5 closest people you surround yourself with are the reflection of you. They shape you, they shape your life. And surprise, surprise, that includes your colleagues. We are sometimes 8 hours a day in the office with people who might be amazing energy, positive, hardworking people, or might be very much complaining, unhappy, and just unmotivational people. It's the same. Comes to your friends, family, partners, everyone who surrounds you is affecting you, and people who you spend the most time with affects you the most. So let's just break it into support versus discouragement. And there's a saying, the friend in need is a friend indeed, which in Polish, I prefer the Polish version, like Polish translation of this saying that says, you see who's your real friend when you're in need or when you're poor. And I actually feel the opposite from 2 years. I actually feel like you see who is your real friend when you succeed. You may ask me why, Magda. It's very easy. When you're struggling because, I don't know, you broke up with your boyfriend or he broke up with you and you're sad, you're crying, your life just collapsed, you're heartbroken, it's so easy to come and be like, oh, poor baby, I'm so sorry, I feel so bad for you. But does the same people help you when you're actually achieving something? Are the same people coming to congratulate you for your successes? Or they rather look like you don't deserve it, or it just came to you without any effort, or some other thing? Many times, unfortunately, people are not too happy without being jealous, mostly when the difference is very big. Imagine the situation. You have a friend from your childhood, and one of you decided to go to university, let's say it's you, and have a career as a doctor. And the other one decided not to go to university, go to a beauty school, and maybe be a nail specialist, stylist. I don't remember the name in English. Person who makes nails. So they started to work when they were 18, 19, with the little things while doing the school. They started to work in different salons, saving money, and everything goes great. And at some point, they actually opened their salon. Meanwhile, you're at the university, you don't have a job, or you do and you actually struggle to connect studying and working part-time, you're miserable, and your friend who is doing something, technically less difficult or worse in a societal way of thinking, because you're going to be a doctor, you're going to save lives, and this person is just doing nails. The moment the person who's doing nails opening the salon, maybe you're jealous, maybe you're not a supportive friend, maybe you're actually the discouraging friend, maybe you start to say to a person, oh, you're never gonna make money, you're gonna lose money out of this salon, it doesn't make any sense, how are you gonna get clients, what do you think you're doing? And you're the smart one. You're supposedly supporting them by going and doing your nails over there, but after 2 or 3 times you stop doing it. Or maybe you didn't even go doing your nails because you're too proud of your career of being a doctor and actually not being a doctor because you're studying for many, many years and you're a poor student who is miserable, and maybe one day you will be successful. Again, nothing wrong in being a doctor, studying, or being after a beauty school. I'm just giving you an example of very, very possible situation when one person is jealous and miserable and the other person is successful and happy. And maybe the same person was very supportive at the beginning when the person was going to the beauty school, thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to be a doctor and they're just going to do nails for a few dollars and they're going to have a minimum wage. But it turned out differently. So yeah, it's just to show you that it's very important to see who supports you in what situations. It's super easy to say after a breakup, oh yeah, I always knew your boyfriend was terrible. Oh yeah, he was a toxic guy. I knew it from the beginning. It's very difficult to say it when you're still together. It's very difficult to, support the happiness. It's much easier to say bad stuff. And again, I'm trying to be very supportive to my friends. I know I'm not 100% supportive. There are situations that for sure I was a terrible friend. But I really think that many times in my life, I saw the value of people when I actually succeeded, when I actually took my path against everyone else. And this way I could see who is supportive and who is not. Even with YouTube channel, it was very easy to see who is laughing at me, who is writing me messages after years I haven't spoke with the person. And maybe we were close back then, but now we're not. Writing me messages, oh what, you opened a YouTube channel? I was like, yeah. But that's for me enough of the message to say, if I haven't spoke with you for years and you're writing me something like this, that probably means our friendship will end for next few years too. It will not revive. So yeah, I think it's very important to be just aware of who supports you and who brings you down, including your boyfriend, including your family, and including your closest friends. And I know sometimes it's difficult, but I have a very great comparison between my previous boyfriend and current boyfriend. My previous boyfriend would always question all my choices. Why would I do it? Why do you want to do it? Oh, that's a waste of time. Oh, it doesn't make sense. While current one, I said to him, I want to do a yoga teacher training. And he said, great idea. I also had Pilates in my mind. And he honestly said to me, yeah, that's going to be very hard. I'm happy you proceeded with yoga before doing Pilates because it's technically easier. We'll see if it is, but at least it's less intense. It's in my own pace. I do it online. Meanwhile, Pilates or reformer teacher training, it's in person, weekend thing, 8-10 hours per day. So it's much more intense. And I've been doing yoga longer as well. so that's why. But, it's supportive. It really shows. And the same with friends. Some friends will be happy from your promotion. Other friends will calculate how much more money you do. And if they do more money, they're them. So I recommend you to choose people in your life who are supportive. And also to choose to be supportive for others. And if you're not, ask yourself why. I did a previous video about judgment. And this also very much says how much you can reflect on yourself when someone succeeds. How do you judge someone when they succeed? Are you happy for them? Or actually the first thoughts are not so nice and more like jealous. And I'm not saying I'm never jealous. Don't get me wrong. There are situations I'm jealous. There are situations I'm not a great friend. There are situations I'm not supportive. But I'm trying to work on them. And I'm trying to actually not be impulsive and say immediately something to someone, but actually think it through and say the answer after a few seconds. And then at the end of the day or another day, actually think through what were the first thoughts that came to my mind. Again, I'm trying. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. Next thing that I would really like to highlight is that it's okay to outgrow the relationships. I think it mostly happens in friendships, but yeah, of course, also in a romantic relationship. But I think in friendships, it happens a lot that you have a friend maybe from a very long time ago, or not so long time ago, but your life changed a lot. And you just grew apart. Maybe you outgrew a person. Maybe they're stuck in the same situation they've been a few years ago. They still complain about it and they didn't change anything about it. Maybe they're happy, but it bothers you. Maybe it's something you could think about for you to change, change your friends to more what suits you. So how to find people that add value to your life? First of all, I would say identify who are energy givers and who are energy drainers from your surrounding. That again includes work, not only work, but all the workouts you do after work, other hobbies that might be with people, maybe family situation and stuff like this. So I'm totally against putting boundaries to everyone and believing you're the best. No, I really think that putting too much boundaries make you feel lonely. That includes also family. So yeah, be very careful about the boundaries. I'm not saying not putting boundaries is good, but putting boundaries for every single thing, it's a little bit absurd. But yeah, just identify who are energy givers, who are energy takers, and how you feel about the person after meeting them. Do you feel happy? Do you feel tired? Do you feel energized? Do you feel like obligation to meet them? Do you feel unmotivated? Or maybe you just have 10,000 ideas in your head. So yeah, just, reflect on what these people give you or take away from you after meeting them or talking with them. Next point I would say is be intentional. join groups, activities, hobbies, or even like jobs that are with people who have the same intentions as you, that have shared goals and values. Maybe you're in pottery classes and there are few people who are very negative and always talk about work and that annoys you, but there's another class and another day of the week that you don't mind taking because it suits your schedule and these people are not there. Maybe it's worth trying it. Maybe one teacher for fitness classes is more positive than other. Then try to get the positive one more often. Maybe your workplace is so negative that it's time to change. Of course, if you can. I know not everybody can change their job so easily like this, or not even within 6 or 12 months. I know. I am aware that it also exists, but if it is possible, maybe it's time to do it. We had a colleague that she was so devoted for the company, and at some point she got fired. For whatever reason, it happened. And honestly, we both concluded it, talking afterwards, that it was better for her. Because she would never resign. Like, not never, but she was not thinking about resigning. And this way, they kind of ease up the way for her to not be in the workplace that was not positive. She was putting her heart into a place and living difficult situation, while it was just like given to her to find another place. And she did, and she's happy. So yeah, things like this also happen, and sometimes the worst outcome might be the best outcome. Look at me and my ex. Like, for me, it happened when I came to Luxembourg. I saw people who were so different, ambitious, had goals in life, had relationships abroad, like, long distance, and were caring about them, that I realized, oh shit, my boyfriend doesn't care about me. My ex-boyfriend, to be clear, he just doesn't care. He didn't buy the tickets, he didn't plan the trip, he doesn't call me, he texts me, and he's jealous that he never was before so much. So he stops talking to me, and why do I even allow him to do it? It opened my eyes, even if honestly, after a year or two, I realized he was always like this. I just needed the impulse of seeing other people caring. I saw people who were visiting each other every week, and they were not living close by. And my ex was from Italy. There's really a lot of flights from Italy to Luxembourg. People were spending hours getting a Flixbus to see their loved ones on the weekend. They would go Friday evening, go back on Sunday evening or Monday morning. And I'm not saying it's great to have, your life splitted between Luxembourg and wherever your partner is living forever. But for a few months, that's fine. And again, I'm kind of happy he didn't do it. I kind of realized who he really is and how he really treats our relationship. So, yeah. I think sometimes there are good situations that show you about people, and sometimes change is needed and it's good. Not always. Not always. Sometimes it's terrible, but it's good to try. Another thing is, don't be afraid to say out loud what resonates with you and what doesn't. It's okay to admit that something is okay and something is not. Will it create sometimes friction? Yes, but again, maybe this friction is important. Maybe this friction will show you something about the person that you just didn't realize before. And why overall this topic is important? Because it's an important mindset shift when you choose friends instead of being given friends. From when you're at school or even university, you kind of are given the same people that you see every single day. You usually have someone who is friends from the class you're attending, and usually you see them every single day. So you're kind of like forced to be friends with these people. How do you find other friends? Maybe you have like some sports or art activities, music activities after school. But otherwise, I'm not saying there's not a lot of ways to find friends, but it's kind of given that your classmates will be your friends. And let's say it's a 30 people group. I'm not saying 29 or even 30, including you, will be bad people, but there will be 30 people instead of being thousands of people. And this time, you're kind of like given friends. You're kind of given the group of people who you can choose from. While when you're becoming adult, at least that was for me, mostly when you move abroad, you travel, you go to university, that you have classes with different people and you have student organizations, and maybe you go to work, maybe you change work, maybe you move, maybe you go on Erasmus or some other exchange. You actually meet a lot of people, and you actually, in my opinion, for the first time in your life, you have a choice of who you make friends with, if that makes any sense. At least that's my experience. And it's important to kind of understand this shift of who gives you energy, who brings your energy away. And once you understand it, it will be very easy to spot people. It's also very important because people often stay in a bad relationships or stay with the wrong cycle of friends who just brings them down and stop them from achieving something better. That kind of like touches the woo-woo manifesting topic, but it is the moment you start to be always negative about everything, life will be negative. Life will not happen to you well. The moment you believe that things are gonna go good, usually they go better. And the easiest way to kind of show, at least for in my opinion, is that remember the moments when you were happy. How many things are going great? And then think about the moment that you were unhappy. And how many things were going wrong? Yeah. I guess you have the answer to the question. So yeah, just to wrap up, it's just for you to grow, to have a personal development. And you can share with me in the comments down below if you have situations like this, if you have people who brings you down and up, and if it's easy or difficult for you to let them go. Or maybe not even let them go, but like to even realize about it. And maybe you have a story like me from the past that you want to share in a comment. I would be happily reading it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, I would be very happy if you would hit the like button. That helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm, so this video will reach more people. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel. And here I leave you the video about what judging others tell about you, and 75 Magda playlist where I share every single day with you my little challenge. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.